Good evening. Hello, Awake Revolution Soul team. How are you doing? So, I wanted to quickly jump in here, wish you a happy new moon tonight. Tonight, yeah, it's around 7:08 or something p.m. in the UK. We've got a new moon. And a new moon is always a great time to set intentions, release the old, say goodbye to the old, bring in new ways and new intentions. So this is a great topic for today I wanted to talk to you about. And this was inspired by I hopped onto Telegram on my Telegram channel today, and I've been doing little audio messages because I really like just dropping those in. So if you're not on Telegram, come and find me on there. It's also a great backup in case this Facebook goes a bit crazy because it's been censoring and doing all sorts of crap. So come and find me on Telegram. But this, what I want to talk to you about now, is inspired by the little like 4-minute audio I did on Telegram today, and it was about why not getting your hopes up and staying realistic is a bullshit way of living as far as I'm concerned, and what you could do instead. So drop a comment below if you're watching, let me know how you're doing. I will check and see if I can see the comments this time because I can't always, but yeah, do let me know if you're watching the replay as well. So it's not a long live stream. I wanted to just make this point today. It was that most people, when they're living their lives, we're living in the reality that has been presented, and most of the time we've been put into these nice little boxes of reality, right? And we're supposed to stay within the kind of parameters of these boxes. And what happens usually is that we want something, we desire something, we aspire to something, we want to really shift and change and transform something. And then that little voice in the head comes in and it says, don't get your hopes up just in case. Don't get your hopes up in case you're disappointed, right? Have you ever had that? Have you ever sort of almost squashed yourself down to stop yourself getting too excited? Why? Because it's to avoid disappointment. So let me know if you've done that. I've definitely done this in my life before, but I also have done the complete opposite, which I'm going to talk to you about in a minute. So the way we do this, it's a very sort of, maybe it's a safe way of living, but is it really? Because all it's doing is it's keeping us from moving forwards and breaking free. And what I'm seeing, this is kind of relevant now because whether you apply this to your personal goals, like whatever you're creating, shifting, transforming right now, or you're focusing on, or you're thinking about the global stuff around the world, some people aren't wanting to get their hopes up because they feel like, what's the point? It looks doom and gloom. It looks like it's all going to shit, or it's not possible. And then they're thinking in this little boxed off way, and it's bullshit. It's a bullshit way of living. It's just the truth. It's a bullshit way of living. And the reason I say this is because if I had believed my reality at various points in my life, I often think if I had chosen to believe that and stayed within these little parameters of the box that I had been probably put myself in there, right? And society, if I had stayed in there and only believed what I could see, I would not have done the things that I had done. Like, I'll give you a few examples, real life examples. Like, I got pregnant when I had the summer I picked up my A levels as I gave birth to my daughter. I had her when I was only 18. And if I'd have believed I'm 18, I'm like stuck, I can't do anything, I wouldn't have even attempted to build the career that I did. I became a lawyer despite everybody telling me there's no way I could do it. I bloody well did it. I wouldn't have moved out of my reality because I would have gone, well, I don't want to get my hopes up in case I can't do it and there's too many obstacles, and it's really hard being a single parent, being a very young single parent, etc., etc., whatever the story is. Another time, if I'd have taken my reality of chronic illness, being housebound, my body wasn't working, I couldn't even move half the time, and the doctors just told me, oh well, here's some antidepressants and some counselling, and hopefully you won't end up needing a wheelchair, because that's the track I was on. If I'd have gone, well, I don't want to get my hopes up to recover, because if I do and it doesn't happen, I'll be very disappointed. Now, the reason that's a bullshit way of living is that if you choose to not get your hopes up because you don't want to be disappointed, what it does is it holds you very firmly stuck into your reality. So what it means is that you don't try to do anything differently. So you think in a way that keeps you very stuck, right? So you don't get your hopes up. So it means you're still thinking that this is your reality. If you're thinking this is your reality and there's no point and you should be realistic, then how is that going to feel? Your emotions are going to feel probably quite crappy, because you don't want this reality, but yet you're forcing yourself to be in this reality, right? And when your emotions are like that, your energy, what you put out into the universe, into the world, is on a certain frequency. So your frequency, instead of being higher up because you're going for what you feel, is down here because you're keeping yourself small. And then it's like you're down here, so you're a vibrational match to everything else that's down here, right? That's how it works. So then accordingly, you're not going to take the action steps from someone who's operating from here because you're down here. Make sense? So it really impacts, like again, if I had accepted I'm ill, this is my life now, I would have just managed my symptoms because I would have not got my hopes up. What I had to do was choose, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to believe somehow that there is a way, and I'm going to choose to actually see it and visualize it. And then when I choose to see it and visualize it, I'm going to think in that way. I'm going to feel differently. The choices I make, the actions I take are going to correspond, right? Because they're going to all be lined up. So I would never, for example, have even looked up online of some help to recover if I had just accepted my reality, because I didn't, and I didn't do the realistic way of thinking. No way. I chose that I was going to completely go out of the box, right? And I've done this in other areas as well. So what I suggest, especially right now, is instead of trying to stay realistic, trying to not get your hopes up to avoid disappointment, is actually to get excited about the possibility. And that might take some courage, because what our minds are created to do is to, our ego is designed to keep us small, keep us safe, keep us inside that box so we don't risk anything, right? Is to keep us comfortable. But what I encourage you to do is, how can you find a way to actually, it's like plucking it from the air. It's from the quantum field, is what you're doing. You're plucking it from the quantum field. It's like, this is what I would like. I don't even know how I'm going to get it. I don't know how it's going to magically appear. This could be in your personal life. This could be globally. You're visualizing a world which is not what we've got right now. I certainly am right now. I'm envisioning this. I can see it. I can feel it. I know that it's there, and I'm holding that. I'm getting excited about the technologies that are coming in this decade. I'm going to get excited about the new ways of living, because our systems are going to crumble and what we've got is bullshit. What I'm not doing is going, the world looks a bit of a mess right now, so I don't want to get excited because um, I might have to accept that the world is just going to shit. No way. No way. That's not how things get created. How does anything get invented or created? Somebody has to go, we need more, right? Somebody had to, for the chair you're sitting on, someone had to think, we need to design this chair. It's not good enough with the chairs that we've got. We need to design this one, right? Everything around you has been created from somebody's mind. Take a look around you. Every single thing around you, even the device that you're watching this on right now, has been created from somebody's mind. They could have gone, well, we already have phones, we already have laptops, so it's not very realistic to kind of think that we can create something new, right? So my recommendation, especially on a new moon, is to get excited. Pluck something personal to you, as well as maybe global stuff. What is it that you want to create? What is it that you want to pull in, and get yourself excited about it? Raise your hopes. Absolutely have the courage to raise your hopes, right? At the same time, this is maybe where it sounds like a contradiction. We want to raise our hopes and get excited by the fact that this is what we want. But if it doesn't quite turn out exactly how we see it and imagine it, we're okay with that at the same time. So we're not raising our hopes for them to become, what's the word? Like, we're not raising our hopes for us to take a hit every time it doesn't happen exactly how we are and then we are disappointed. No, we're raising our hopes, we're envisioning, we're trusting, and we're creating it with our minds first, minds and hearts first. And then we'll just take the action steps and allow it to unfold in its own time. Like, to use my recovery, I didn't know how long it would take. I didn't know how long it would take me to recover from that illness where I couldn't even leave the house and I couldn't even hardly get up. I didn't know, but I had to envision and just decide that that's what I wanted to do. I'd get excited by the idea sometimes of, oh my God, one day I could be able to get up and go outside of the house and socialize again and have a whole day with my daughter, or not fall asleep and just sit upright and watch a movie. I'd get excited about those things. So here's a little side note. You don't this doesn't mean you've got to be excited 24/7 because that's exhausting as well. And I definitely am not excited 24/7. What I'm trying to say is just giving yourself permission to really go there and not shrink yourself down all the time. Like, people don't go for their goals because they think, well, if it doesn't work out, then what? Well, if it doesn't work out, you're no worse off than you were. You haven't lost anything, right? You haven't lost anything, but you've got so much to gain because you've had the courage and the bravery to actually go, I am going to set my sights on this thing. I'm going to get my hopes up. I'm going to raise them. Because when you get your hopes up and you raise them, your thoughts are going to be much better quality thoughts. They're going to have, they'll be visionary, they'll be exciting, they'll be magical, they'll be magnificent thoughts. You're going to feel better as a result of you just even having those thoughts and focusing. If you feel better, your energy that you're putting out there is going to line up with other things that match it. And that's how you shift your reality. You're going to pull in things that match that reality. And then accordingly, because this is practical, this universal law is practical, you'll then be taking action by doing things and not doing things that fit exactly that picture. So I want to encourage you, really, just simple message is just get your hopes up. Stop trying to like lower your expectations and keeping yourselves safe so you avoid disappointment, because nothing great or magnificent or magical or powerful comes from just playing it safe. And you didn't come here to play it safe. I'm not saying you've got to go out there and scare the crap out of yourself. Like, you do sometimes want some safety, right? But that's how you come back to yourself. That's how, when I do things that scare the shit out of me, even live streams used to scare the crap out of me. They really did. I'd sit here for half an hour sweating before I pressed live. Hold on, my battery's going to go. Always the way. You know, I used to really panic. And I used to have to come back to a place of safety, which was myself. So I would meditate, I would watch a movie, I would, when I first used to do my videos, I used to do a video and then I'd hide away from Facebook and not even go online and just like put on a movie, wrap myself in a blanket and just completely distract myself because I felt like I was putting myself out there and doing these crazy stuff, right? So you might need a place of safety. That's okay to come back to, but we can't live our lives like like tiptoeing around and never ever ever having the courage to break free and actually try and get our hopes up and imagine something more. The reality is in front of us is not our own only reality. So we've got to think beyond that. You know, we're in this reality right now, but when you shift your mind and your feelings and your vibration, you just move, you just jump tracks, and then you're over here and you're on another timeline. That's how it works. So get your don't not get your hopes up and try and stay realistic. It's a bullshit way of living. Raise your expectations, get excited about things, allow yourself to go there, allow yourself to do it, because that's how you actually create something completely different. So on that note, if you want help with this, because this is exactly the kind of thing I do, and I will be doing in the Awake Revolution Academy, which is my monthly membership, because there's so much you can do to practice, to strengthen, to program yourself with your mindset, your wiring, your emotions, the actions you take, how you think, how you feel, what you do day to day. There's so much to look at. So I created this academy to look at all these ingredients and really, really help support you through making these changes and stepping into much more of who you really are. So if you're interested, I'll put the link in there, or just check out theawakerevolution.com/academy, because there's a really good founding members sign up if you sign up in February, because the price is going up on the 1st of March. So if you want to join, get in now at this really low price. It will never be this low again, and you'll get to keep that price monthly for as long as you're in the academy. So don't go at this alone. If you know you want help and support, if you don't even know where to start with, like how to shift your mindset, how to get your emotional state, there's loads that you could be doing. So I'm here to support you. It's exactly why I set this academy up. So check that out if you're interested. But for now, use today's new moon. It's a great time today and the next couple of days, because the energy is still really strong, to think about, if you had a menu in front of you, what would you be selecting right now for yourself? It's a great thing to do, just your personal goals, and how would you see the world? Because I'm doing both at the moment. I'm doing my own personal business creativity goals and my health and fitness stuff. I'm really trying to get that back on track because that kind of went a little bit off. And also how I envisioned the world. Like, I'm a very visionary person and I can see the way the world is going to transition, and I want to help create that. So I'm doing that starting with my in my mind and in my energy field, because that's how everything gets started. So look at what you want to do, write that stuff down tonight if you want to. I'm going to sit and I'm going to write down just a stream of like what it is, allow it to come through, because even just imagining and daydreaming is first part of this whole process. You've got to think it first, you've got to allow your mind to go there. So don't hold yourself back, don't stay in that box, because you didn't come here for that. You came here to create, and you're definitely in this group. If you're in the Awake Revolution Soul team, you are looking for more. You're not here to settle and live life like everybody else. Most people just live their lives based on the reality that they can see, which is bullshit. It just is. It's not their fault, it's just they don't know that there's another way. So most people are, I'll believe it when I see it. What we need to be, and what I am most definitely, is I'll see it first, right? I'll believe it. Sorry, I'll believe it first before I even see it. So you can just believe it before you even see it. You don't have to have it in your reality. You just know and you just trust and you create from that place. All right, so any questions, let me know. Check out the academy if you're just interested, you're intrigued by any of this, or you just want accountability, because I'm going to be in there coaching you every single month. I'm going to have coaching calls, Q&A, trainings every month, couple of trainings every month, new ones, a whole library in there. There's tons of stuff in there already, that you can just come in and just help yourself to. It's going to be such an amazing, like, I want it to be the go-to place for people to do their inner shifts and actually create a different life. That is the whole point. Okay, so happy new moon to you. Have a good evening, and yeah, I will talk to you very, very soon.